Welcome to the mill. We're on the Haas VF mill machine.
So,
here we go.
Just as over there, whenever we have our test, you determine where you put your WCS, right? It's going to be in the center, bottom left, top right, whatever corner. You determine where you're going to put that at. There's America. You have that freedom, right? So, you have to touch off your X0, Y0, then your Z0 on whichever tools you're using, right? So if I'm doing facing and profiling, that's two tools that I have to touch off, correct? You guys know how to do that? Because we went over it. That was the first test pretty much, right? So since your class starts right now, like in 10 minutes, I'm not gonna go over that. I'm gonna go over what the program is, right? So on this machine, it is a little bit different to call up your program. So I'm gonna go to list programs, come down, I'm gonna just call up 505, right? I need to push 00505. Somebody had a G01 before, so it's not gonna accept it. Alright, so memory 0005005. Enter. See how I created my new program in there, right? So on this one, it automatically selects it and puts it under memory.
Good.
So all I have to do is hit edit, and there I am, right? So on this one, I'm just gonna go ahead and add a few ender blocks on it, correct? So to make my life easier, I'm just gonna pretend that I touch off my WCS on the bottom left corner, right? But remember guys, when you do this, you get the edge finder, you put it here, and then you still compensate the radius of the tool's diameter, correct? Yeah. So in this case, it's 100 thousandths. So over here under offset G54, if I had my edge finder there, I would push part 0 set. After that, I would just hit 0.1 enter, and it will automatically add that 100 thousandths.
And that's
right?
because that edge finder's a 0.2, so
yeah.
we're using half of it. Okay.
Yeah, somebody broke the half-inch one.
Damn, that sucks.
So remember, guys, if you do it on down here, that Y is going positive, so it's still positive 0.1, right? But if I do it in this corner, my X would be negative 0.1, and my Y would still be positive, right? So it has to be correct and it has to make sense. All right, so another quick thing is you want to make sure you have Z0 under your G54. When I tell you guys to run it 2 inches above, after you touch off your tools on your Z, that's when you're gonna add the 2 inches here, enter, yes. Now everything is gonna follow suit 2 inches above the part. Does that make sense? But if you have a 2 on there, and I touch off, like let's say tool number 1 or tool number 2, it's gonna offset those 2 inches from these numbers. And that's incorrect. Why? Because when I load up for my next job, I'm not gonna know that I had that 2 there, and I'm gonna jack something up. Does that make sense?
Correct.
So we wanna have it at 0 first. Then once you run it 2 inches above the air, then you just take that back to 0 and you run. Does that make sense? All right, back to the program over here now. So what's the first thing that I need? I need to make sure my Z is clear, right? So G00, G53, Z0, and a block. That's it, right? For the beginning. After that, I need a what? Tool number, right? So let's just call for the facing. Let's do facing first. So T1 M06. Notice the differences, right? Between the lathe and the mill. The lathe, I would have had a T101, correct? If you put T101 on the mill, it's gonna ask for tool 101. Do they exist? Yeah, there's some of these mills that have closets in the back, right? But this one only has 20, so it's gonna give an alarm, correct? As soon as I bring up my tool, I like turning on my spindle, that way I won't forget, right? So S1000, M03, in the block. Oh, I put S100.
That's fine, I'm gonna go slow.
All right, so what's next?
piece offset?
Huh?
The work piece?
I need to tell it where it's absolute incremental, right? And I need to tell it where my G54 is at, correct? While my Z is still up there, because I'm not in danger of anything, right? So I need a G90, G54, X, since I'm facing with my face mill. I know that this is 3 inches, so the radius of that is what? 1.5, correct? If this is my X0, I'm gonna start at least at X negative 1.6. Give it a good 100 thousandths, correct? On the left of it. So X negative 1.6. Does that make sense? On my Y, I know that this is 3 inches. And I set my center here. So I have 1.5 hanging down from here, correct? So if I call it Y positive 1.4, I still got 100 thousandths that the tool's gonna hang out and still clean up that material, right? So my Y could be 1.4. Are we tracking so far?
Yes.
Alright, so now what I need to tell it, I need to tell it my tool length, correct? What G code is that? Some of y'all should know this because, G43, right? G43 always plays with my what?
Your tool length.
Well, my H, right? And that H needs to match up with what? My tool number, correct? Then I'm gonna give it a G00. Oh, I forgot a G00 up there too. G00 Z1 inch.
So your H and your Z right there on that line is matching.
Yeah, so now it identifies the length of the tool, and we're gonna come 1 inch above the part, right? Really 3 inches because the 2 inches that I'm gonna give it.
All right, now is that tool height like the entire thing, or just from what's protruded out?
From here to right here.
That's 1 inch.
No, that 1 inch that we put,
Right.
we touched off from the face of the part, right?
Yeah, that's the. I'm talking about the H. The
on top
HO1.
of it.
Okay, so the HO1 is just referring to the tool that's in there.
The H1 is gonna be reading that.
Okay.
Whatever I set my tools at, that's what it's gonna be reading.
Gotcha.
From the machine coordinates, right? All right. So now what do I need?
G54.
I got a G54 already.
Oh, I see.
So now we're over here, right? 100 thousandths above. I mean, 1 inch above, right? So now I'm gonna take it down to the face of the part, right? So I can still be on a G00, Z0, correct? And the block, enter. So now I'm here on the face of the part, right? After that, I'm gonna travel on my x-axis, but I'm gonna go to a cutting linear motion. So I need to change that to a what?
G01.
G01, correct? X, what's X gonna be? Well, this is 0. This part is 5 inches plus 1.5 inches.
6.5.
That's at least 6.5, but I want to go a little bit further
so
because I don't stock
6.6.
material is 100, right? So I'm gonna go like 6.7, and I should be fine with that.
You already got an X in there.
Oh, X 6.7, and what did a lot of you guys get an alarm on once your G01? What alarm did y'all get? Once y'all activated our G01? Some of you guys forgot to put a what?
Period.
Feed rate, right? The G01, you gotta have a feed rate, correct? So feed rate on this one, 50 is fine.
50 inches a minute. Is that what that is? 50 inches a minute?
Huh?
Is that inches per minute, right?
Yeah, this one's inches per minute.
Not revolution, that's late.
Is the name.
Gotcha. See, learning the differences now.
So how I did it on mine is I put the feed rate up here with this. Would it still have worked like that, or?
It would be the last feed rate, but that's the incorrect way to do it.
So you got to put it behind
G01.
G01.
Have it with the G01.
Alright. So 001 and a feed rate got to go together.
Most of the time.
And your coordinates in between.
Hey, it's already 12:30.
That's fine. He's not even over there. The door's locked. We're good here.
Yeah, go ahead and open it up if you want.
Oh, you got the key, huh?
Alright. So after that, we come over here, right? Then to make it go faster, we're gonna wrap it on a Y, correct? So we're gonna change our G01 to a what?
G00.
G00, correct?
G00 rapid.
So if it's 3 inches, I was already at what? Y 1.4. So even if I go to Y 2.5, I'm still gonna have enough to clean up, right? So that is zero right there. So I'm gonna G00 Y 2.5, correct? So I just went up here, wrapping it, right? So now I'm gonna wrap it back over here. I'm gonna linear cut back to this side now, right?
G01.
So it's gonna be a G01 X, and I'm just gonna put the X that I put up there, right? X negative 1.6.
So it goes back to the same spot on the left side of the part.
And since I've already established my feed, I don't need to put another feed on there, correct?
Okay. So it goes to the last.
You have to establish your feed first, though.
Okay.
All right. So now after that, I could G00, wrap it up my Z, right?
It brings it 1 inch above the part.
Above the part, and then I could go ahead and G00, G53, Z0, and the block. And really, I don't need to bring my Y over here because I'm still going to be cutting on my part, right? So usually you want that Y0 at the end of it. So, but we still need to have what on this?
An end.
Well, M05 will stop your spin though, but the M30 will also, or M00, or M01, right? But we will, since we have another operation, M01.
And this also has an option stop too, like that one.
Yeah, they all have. Every machine has options.
Okay.
All right, so after that, I would know that I need to start my actual profile, correct? So to make it easier on myself, I'm gonna just F2, come back down,
F2, copy,
enter,
paste,
bring it down, enter, undo, right? Now, don't take it as easy like when you're on with the computer that, oh, I just copied it so I'm good. No, go through the whole damn thing again and change what you need to change, right? Because it's too easy to overlook something, right? Too easy to make simple mistakes on this,
yes.
correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
Too easy to overlook a negative or a decimal point or whatever.
Because there's a lot of dots in there.
So I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna start at the beginning. Oh, I know that needs to be changed to a T2, correct?
Yep. You're not edge finding no more.
Yep. Well, not facing anymore.
Or facing
H.
Okay, yeah, the H, but okay, we'll go ahead and change the H since he has an H on this line.
Two.
So I know that pretty much from here it's gonna be different, right? And then here, so this is my body, right? So I'm just gonna delete that body, correct? So now that I know that I'm doing the profile, correct? Now I'm gonna think, what are the rules? Because I wanna make sure I use cutter comp to make my life easier, right? So I know that I gotta be off the part at least the radius of the tool, correct? So my first X movement up here is gonna be X negative 0.35 because it's 250 plus another 100 that I'm off, right? And that Y could be 0, guys. It's no big deal because I'm still off the part. Does that make sense? So then I still have a G43, I still have a H, I have a G00, I have a Z stops at 1, then it goes to 0, and I mean that's fine, guys. As long as I'm not cutting the part yet, those numbers could be fluctuated, right? But since I know that I'm gonna start cutting my part next, I want to drop my Z down because what's the rule of cutter comp? You want to activate it once you don't want to activate it on Z, right? So I'm going to drop down my Z to 0.5. So Z minus 0.5. Oh, right?
And that's cutting.
Now I'm going to activate my cutter comp, correct? So it's gonna be a G41, G01, X 0.0. Can't forget my what? Because I just put
Your
a
feed.
There you go.
Damn, I'm a good guesser. I guessed my way through college.
So that's what I was getting confused on last night. That X, when you do G01, X0 for the cutter comp, what is that defining? Like actually? Well, no, I'm just on a clarification, just a reminder.
Are you asking a question or you're telling me?
Well, no,
or?
I'm asking like,
Oh.
what?
That, so I'm off of a 350, right? So now that I'm coming into it, now it's X0.
Oh, it's
but since it reads, oh, and I forgot my D. Hey. So
You
D
dipped the
02. No, the tool diameter. So that D is this one over here, right? Is that one right there. So diameter, that's the D value.
So it knows which one to compensate
Yeah.
for, right?
And it knows how much because you put a value there, correct? So now from here, I'm down here. Right there, I'm down here now, right? So now I gotta come up on my Y. If it's 0.5 and that's just 4,
3.5.
so Y, I'm showing a G01, right? So Y, 3.5. And a block enter, correct? Now I gotta make this radius. So is it a G02 or G03?
O2.
G02, right? G02, X, 0.5, Y, that's 4 inches. And I can't forget my R.
Radius.
Correct?
0.5.
0.5, enter. Bam. See how easy that is, guys?
Yeah, that's the easy part.
After that, I need to come down over on my X. So that's 5 inches. Stop half an inch before, so X.
4.5.
But I need to make sure I change it back to a G01, right? G01 X 4.5 in the block. There we go, right? After that,
You got G02.
got another G02
Clockwise.
X 5 inches. Y
3.5.
0.5 R
0.5.
in the block. There I go, right? After that, I'm going to change it to G01. Y 0.5, correct? In the block. Enter. So now I'm going to make this radius over here, correct? It's still a G02. X 4.5, correct?
Yep.
Y 0. Radius 0.5. In the block. Enter. Change it back to a G01.
We're going from
X
here
0.5
to there.
right? And the block, enter. See how easy this is, guys?
This part, yeah.
Alright, after that I got one more radius, right? G02, X0, Y 0.5, R 0.5, and the block, enter. Now this is what we can't forget because we use cutter comp, right?
Now you gotta
So
turn
we
the
need
comp
G40.
off.
G40. Since I'm gonna be off the part now, I could go to a G00 or I could keep it a G01. Doesn't make a big difference. It's either gonna feed or rapid, right? And I could just put that same value, X value that I had on it, because it's gonna go off the part, right? So X minus 0.35 and the block, enter. That makes sense?
Yes.
So after that, I still have my conclusion for my last one, right? And I am gonna go ahead and add a G00, G53, Y0 on this one. Just so I don't reach for the part, right? Memory current commands, you wanna run it. Remember, when you just turn on the machine, it's like on this page, right? If you hit memory current commands, now you gotta hit page up to get to that page of distance to go, correct? So the correct way to run it, you're on a distance to go, you have 5%, you're on single block. Remember, if you don't know if single block is on or not, look at the freaking screen, correct? Single block is on, one thumb on the red, one thumb on the green, and you just hit it line by line, right? When you actually run it. But let's see if we get any alarms at all. So I'm gonna take off single block. Alright, so we saw how it was up there, right? So if I hit, remember, it's still in the program right now, right? So if I hit F2, nothing's gonna happen. I need to hit reset to get out of the program, right? Now I hit F2. Now I can look at my little window. I'm coming up, I'm coming over, then page down. I'll come up, hit enter, right? Now I'm gonna run my program. Facing, profiling, going back home. I don't get paid enough. That's it.
Combat speed?
Too easy?
Never. Muy difícil.
That's it though, guys. That's all you had to do.
That was exactly 20 minutes.
And with me explaining everything. But I didn't touch off my toes. So it's very doable, guys. Very doable. Go to edit so you can scroll down.
Pinche pendejo.